Deception, my dear friends, is an art form, but the finest deception, that's the one even the deceiver believes. That's where we begin today, with the unsettling question: are all avoidants covert narcissists? And if they are, what do we look for? What signs slip through the cracks of their carefully curated facades? Now, if you've clicked on a video titled, "Are all avoidants covert narcissists?" What to look for, then either you suspect someone in your life is a covert manipulator, or, more dangerously, you're questioning whether it's you. Either way, let me tell you a story. Years ago, I met a man named Julian. Tall, immaculately dressed, gentle voice like a bedtime lullaby, and eyes that looked as though they'd seen the ancient libraries of Alexandria and found them slightly lacking. Julian was what you might call stoic, polite, mysterious, wore emotional distance like a designer cologne. He didn't shout or make demands. He didn't rage or roar. But after spending just 10 minutes with him, you felt, curiously, less than yourself. Not insulted, not wounded, just quietly diminished. I'd later come to realize Julian wasn't just reserved, he was an avoidant. And beneath that avoidance, a current. A soft, relentless narcissism that didn't want to be seen, only admired. A covert narcissist in a poet's clothing. So what's the difference between someone who simply struggles with intimacy and someone who hides a fragile ego behind detachment? Let's begin where the truth always starts. The gut. Ever had a conversation that left you feeling like you just stepped off a merry-go-round, but the horses were whispering behind your back? That's covert narcissism. It doesn't slap you in the face. It tilts the room ever so slightly, until you don't know which way is up. Avoidants, in the classic sense, tend to withdraw to protect themselves. They are overwhelmed by closeness, intimacy, or expectations. It's not malicious, it's wiring, a protective mechanism. But a covert narcissist, they also avoid, but not to protect you. They avoid to control you. Their silence is not a white flag, it's a leash. The difference is intention. Let me put it plainly. If you ask your partner how they feel and they say, "I don't know," and they genuinely look troubled by that, chances are you're dealing with an avoidant. If you ask the same question and receive a scoff, a delayed text 3 days later or worse, an eloquent monologue about how you are the one who's pressuring them, congratulations, you've just been subtly gaslit by a covert narcissist. And now, let's talk about masks. Masks. Not the latex kind, though heaven knows I've worn enough of those on stage. I mean psychological masks, personas. You see, the covert narcissist doesn't walk into the room demanding applause. They float in on humility, on self-deprecation, on tragic stories and quiet genius. They are, at first glance, everything the overt narcissist is not. But make no mistake, they still believe they're the smartest person in the room. They just want you to discover it yourself, and then applaud them silently for how humble they are. They don't say, "Look at me." They say, "No, don't look at me, unless you really want to." And then, make it count. Here's a test I use. I call it the coffee cup test. Simple. Watch what they say, and then watch what they do. If someone tells you they hate drama, but somehow there's always drama around them, like bees to a sugary corpse, you may have a covert narcissist on your hands. They say they love peace, but thrive in chaos. They say they avoid conflict, but instigate it through omission. They say they're misunderstood, because they intend to be. Now, you might say, "But Sir Anthony, surely not all avoidants are narcissists." No, of course not. That's like saying every cat that doesn't purr is a lion in disguise. Some avoidants are merely frightened mice. Others, Well, they've got claws, and it gets murky here. Because the covert narcissist is often genuinely unaware. They believe their version of events, just as a drunk man believes he can walk a straight line. They say, "I never lie," and they mean it, because they've told themselves their fiction for so long it feels like fact. That, my dear friends, is where it becomes dangerous. So how do you spot one? 3 things: deeds, atmosphere, and progression. First, deeds. Always watch actions over words. Words are cheap. Words are Shakespeare. Actions, that's the real soliloquy. Second, atmosphere. How do you feel around them? Do you walk away lighter or heavier, seen or subtly erased? Your body knows before your mind does. Third, progression. Do they become more real the more you know them, or less? Because with a covert narcissist, what starts as poetic mystery often ends in a choking fog. You'll notice a theme with covert narcissists. They don't just want admiration, they want devotion, unquestioned, unstoppable, but they want you to offer it, freely, willingly. They want to be pursued, adored, not because they earn it, but because your giving it proves their worth. And when you stop giving it, the mask slips. Suddenly the passive aggression turns aggressive. The melancholy turns manipulative. The sad genius becomes a tyrant in tweed. Let me offer you one final image. Imagine a mirror. Beautiful, ornate, baroque. But instead of reflecting you, it reflects them. Always them. Your job becomes holding the mirror just right, keeping the angle perfect, making sure they always see themselves in the best light. Now imagine dropping the mirror. What do? A true partner helps you pick up the pieces. A covert narcissist, they rage. Not because the mirror broke, but because they can no longer see themselves. So, are all avoidants covert narcissists? Number. But if you find yourself repeatedly wondering if they are, there's your answer. And as always, if something feels off, it probably is. Don't wait for the mask to fall. Trust your gut. Check the coffee cup. And when the words and the deeds part ways, follow the deeds. They never lie. Thank you for listening.
If you believe this video might help someone dear to you, share it with them. A small gesture on your part could mean the world to a friend in need.